Hey guys, you've seen support and resistance, you've heard people talking about it, and you've seen people draw it on the chart, but you have absolutely no idea why they draw their support and resistance there. Some of you probably don't even know what support and resistance is. Well, in this video, I will teach you 3 types of support and resistance, so make sure you watch until the end of this video. Let's get started. Hi guys, let's make a start by asking the question, what is support and resistance? So support by definition is a key level where price could not break any lower. And resistance by definition is a key level where price could not break any higher. So what you have in front of you is an illustration of support. Now don't worry, I will show you how support looks like on real life chart, but this is just to give you an idea. Now I want you to visualize that if this is price on your chart, there's this key level of support where price can't break any lower. Yeah. Okay, and this key level, right, is called key level support. The natural reaction when price hits support is obviously going higher or going up, right, because it actually gets rejected. Now, how far price moves from every time it actually hits the support, we're not going to actually discuss that in details here. This is just to show you that price will react of a key level support. All right, that's basically what this illustration is saying to you, right? And what you have here in front of you is resistance. Okay, it's and again, it's just an illustration. And if you actually imagine this is price, every time price actually hits resistance, the natural reaction is to move down, right? Again, I'm not going to discuss or explain to you in details on how far price moves away from resistance, because this is not what this video is all about. This video is about giving you a good understanding of support and resistance and how to use that on your trading. Price is rejected to move any higher than this level here. Okay, so we call that level resistance. Now there are 3 types of support and resistance. I will go through it one by one with you. The first one is structural. Structural is the strongest support or resistance. Okay, I put down here the strength meter just to give you a bit of an idea, all right, or so you can visualize the strength of each support and resistance. Right now, imagine if price hits support and then moves away and create some sort of like structure, right? Okay, above this support, obviously, and then come back to support again, right? And then moves away, right? And then comes back and make another some sort of like structure. By the time it actually comes back to support again, I call that a structural support, right? Because the main characteristic is once price touch support and it moves away, and it already creates some sort of like structure above support, right? And then it comes back again and then moves away and then creates another structure and then comes back again. So these are the structure made above the support. And when it actually comes back again, I call that level a structural support. And this is the strongest. There's a high probability for price to actually get rejected again and move up. Okay, this is an example of structural resistance. Exactly the same as the structural support, but it's actually the opposite, right? If you see price actually makes a structure, hits resistance, moves away, creates some sort of like structure, and then comes back again to resistance, move away, creates another structure, and then comes back to resistance. That level, straight away I call it a structural resistance. And there's a high probability for price to continue, to come back lower, right, to get rejected off this level. And again, I put the strength meter there so then you can visualize the strength of this kind of resistance. All right, the second one is consolidation. All right, a consolidation, support and resistance. This is when price makes sort of like a substructure, goes back and forth, right, within that range, right, for over a period of time. So in itself is actually a mini substructure, right? Don't worry, I will show you this to you in a real chart, right? So you know exactly what it looks like, right? This is again just a crude depiction of consolidation, support and resistance. Now this is quite strong, okay, and although it's actually not as strong as structural support and resistance, but this is a fairly strong support and resistance because it actually has been tested over and over again over a shorter period of time, right? Whereas the structural support and resistance tend to be much longer, right? If you, I'll give you an example. If you actually looking at a 1 hour chart, right, that structural support could be days apart, right? Okay, or 2 days apart, or like hours apart, right? Whereas the consolidation resistance or support, if you're looking at a 1 hour, yeah, we're looking at, I don't know, like I think within half a day, you know, you have 5-6 touches already between the support and resistance, right? Back and forth, right? Now, every time you hit resistance, obviously the probable direction is to move down, and then every time you touch support, the most probable direction is to actually move up, right? So this is called a range, right? So this gap between the resistance and support, right? Okay, that's the example of a consolidation support resistance. Now the third one is candlestick support and resistance. Candlestick support and resistance is actually very unique. Okay, I believe that there's not many people on YouTube that actually talks about this. Okay, I don't know whether I'm actually the only one, but it's not to say that you can't use them. You can absolutely use them, but it is the weakest out of all the other support and resistance that we've mentioned before. Okay, so let me explain. So if you see a bearish candle over here, and you have a bullish candle, and it's actually followed by another bullish candle, so this area is a candlestick support. Now, if you're actually looking at a, say, 4-hour time frame, and you see one 4-hour candle here, bearish candle, and you see another 4-hour candle, bullish candle, and you see another 4-hour candle, bullish candle, in another time frame lower, right? I don't know, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. I can guarantee you, right, that price will actually create some sort of support over here. You can't see it here because it's just a candlestick. So just by looking at this combination, this is definitely a support, right, at another time frame lower. Okay, so that's a candlestick support. The opposite is candlestick resistance. So where you have bullish and then bearish and then bearish, right? So there's like a rejection here. Again, also like over here, there's a rejection going lower. It actually moves up. Again, this is also a rejection going higher. It actually comes back down. And this is a candlestick's resistance, candlestick support in a ranging candlesticks, right? So similar to what we spoke before. This is example, right, of candlesticks support and resistance at play. Okay, so you see how it obviously happens more often than structural support, because again, like I said, structural support, it is the strongest, but between one structural support to another, it could be like days, weeks, or like many hours apart. Yeah, so whereas the candlestick, it happens, you know, quite repetitively, you know, in a session or in a day. So you have support here, candlestick support. You have a candlestick support over there as well. You have support here, support there, and there. So if you're actually wondering why I actually call this support, right? So there's a bullish candle over here, a bearish candle, right? And because it actually refused to move lower, it actually countered with a bullish candle, right? And in fact, actually goes even higher, even though it actually closes bearish, but actually is higher than this candle over here. That is support. That's rejection here. And if you actually draw this support further out here, right, which I didn't, but if you did, you can also see that that level, again, is actually respected. Okay, so support here because it's a bearish candle, bullish and bullish, right? Which was exactly the exact example of what I showed you before. You have the bearish, bullish, but bearish, I know, but again, in trading, there's nothing that's actually exactly like the textbook. Okay. Before, when I gave you the example, it was more of an idea of where price try to move down because it's bearish candle and actually goes all the way up, and then when it actually closes bearish again on this candle, it doesn't actually go lower than this, right? So this in itself is actually a rejection from going lower, right? So I call that a candlestick support. Again, this is a candlestick support. Why? Because there's a bearish, bullish, and actually close bullish all the way up there. So again, it's a rejection. And again, this is an example. If I actually were to, so that was my support, candlestick support, and I accidentally actually pull it a little bit longer than I needed. But anyway, if you actually stretch it longer, which I did, you can see that price actually moved down, bearish, and then closes bullish again, like further up. Okay, so there's a rejection here. So again, it's a support. So the bearish example, bearish candlestick resistance, you have bullish, bearish, although it actually closed bullish, but it's actually closing way below the resistance area. So that means the price actually was rejected from moving higher. You have bearish, bullish, but then it actually closes even lower, right? Again, so that means there's a rejection here. From here, you go bearish, bullish, and then bearish. There's a temporary rejection over here. So after price moves up, it hits resistance, close bearish, further lower. So that makes it a proper candlestick resistance before it actually got broken. Okay, of course, even structural support and resistance will get broken eventually. So nothing is gonna hold forever. But at one point in time, it will hold. This is again price actually moves go bullish and then bearish again, so further lower. So this is actually a good candlestick resistance, although eventually it actually got broken, right? And then again you have bullish, bearish, very strong rejection here to move lower, right? So this is a clear proper candlestick resistance until actually got broken again, and this is bullish, bearish. So this is again a very good candlestick resistance. Okay, so after we sort of understand what support and resistance is and the types of support and resistance, so what do we use support and resistance for? So we use support as POI, right? POI is short for point of interest. Okay, it's a point of interest for you to find buy opportunities. So if this is actually a clear support area, as you have drawn there, as soon as price hits that support area again, the idea is once you've identified that key level as support, you would want to find buy opportunities in that level. Okay, now resistance, same thing. Once you've actually identified resistance in that level, as soon as price comes back to that resistance again, the idea is for you to look for sell opportunities. Again, why do we use buy in support and sell at resistance? Because when you find support, the natural reaction is for price to hit support and then moves further up. And as for resistance, as soon as price hits resistance, the natural response or reaction for price is to move lower. That's why you look for sell opportunities. So let's go to the chart now, and I will show you how all these look like on the live chart. The support and resistance that you're going to be seeing on the chart, there's going to be many more that I haven't highlighted. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just focus on the ones that I've highlighted. Right, because I think I've already picked a few that are quite clear, and it'll be easy for you to get a visual representations of this support and resistance. Okay, let's start off with this one. Okay, so the first one is consolidation, resistance, and support. If you remember my slides previously, where price actually goes back and forth, making some sort of like substructure, but still within that range. So that is called consolidation, resistance, and support. So that's a substructure there. There's a mini structure, right, that I mentioned to you. Okay. Now this consolidation support happens to overlap with the structural support. Also, from there and there and there as well. After it actually touched this support, it creates some sort of like structure down here, and then move up, and then hit support again and make another substructure, structure, 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 and then comes back down again. So this would be a very good structural support area, okay, where price, after making all these structures above it, comes back down and then moves up again. This is why when I see this, I would be looking for buy opportunities around this area. This is some example of candlesticks resistance and candlestick support while the candlesticks are ranging. Okay, and this is candlestick support. As I mentioned before, you have the bearish move candle, and then close bullish, and then bullish. So it's actually repelled price from going lower, and then again testing that area again, bearish, bullish, and after close all the way up there, right? Bullish. Yeah. You have again candlestick support here. Price goes bearish, bullish, and then close bullish. So there's a rejection. If price goes bearish candle, bullish candle, and then bearish candle, so obviously there's no support here. But the fact that price continues going up, right, further up, away from this area, and then I actually identify this as a candlestick support. This one, you have price moving up, close bullish, close bearish. I called it, I highlight that area as a candlestick resistance, although it actually got broken straight away, right? After price make that candlestick support, it moves straight away further higher. All right, again, this is just an example of candlestick resistance. Price close bullish, close bearish, and then close bullish, but obviously lower than this level over here. So there's some sort of like resistance, a candlestick resistance here and there. And there again, and this one obviously is quite obvious, candlestick support. Price close bearish, close bullish, and then close further higher than this area. So that's actually candlestick support. And you can see sometimes it actually respected over and over again, right? Even though this is actually a fresh a new candlestick support, but you see that at this level here, at this price level, price seems to refuse to move lower. This is candlestick support and resistance while it's actually consolidating, while it's actually moving sideways. And this is consolidation, resistance, and support, where price is making sort of like a mini structure in between. And the last one is an example of structural resistance. Why? Because when price hit a resistance level, it moves down, creates some structure over here, and then comes back up again, create some structure, right, and then comes back up again. And as per my slide before, the most probable direction is to continue lower. Lastly, please remember, guys, that support and resistance is always going to be an area. It's never going to be one precise line. Okay, so you need to give yourself some breathing room, or you have to give price some breathing room. Okay, it is impossible to actually narrow down support and resistance into one line. Okay, because price just doesn't react on one particular price value. Okay, it's an area. And there are three types of support and resistance. The first one being the strongest, the structural, the consolidating support and resistance, and lastly the candlestick support and resistance. Hopefully you have a better understanding now on different types of support and resistance, and you can use it and apply it onto your chart and into your trading. Thank you for watching, guys. If you find this video useful, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Make sure you check out my other videos too. I'll see you in the next video.